आपके सामने अभिवचन प्रस्तुत करना चाहती हूँ। माता एम वादिनी ने अच्छे मूल्य पर अपने वादग्रस्त घर को बेचने के लिए अपने पुत्र एस को मुख्तारनामा द्वारा साम्यक रूप से प्राधिकृत किया, परंतु पुत्र घर को 2 वर्ष से नहीं बेच पाया, जिसके चलते माता का विश्वास पुत्र ने खो दिया, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप माता ने मुख्तारनामा को निरस्त कर दिया। निरस्तीकरण को मुख्तारनामा के निरस्तीकरण के अगले ही दिन स्थानीय समाचार पत्रों में प्रकाशित कर दिया गया।
और विक्रय पत्र के निष्पादन से पहले उसने यह सूचित किया था कि उक्त मुख्तारनामा निरस्त किया जा रहा है। माता ने पुत्र से संपत्ति के दस्तावेजों को लौटाने के लिए कहा था, परंतु पुत्र ने यह कहते हुए दस्तावेजों को लौटाने से इनकार कर दिया कि वो खो गए हैं। माता ने दस्तावेजों को लौटाने के लिए प्रयोजन हेतु कुछ पुत्र पर नोटिस की तालीम भी कराई थी, जिसका पुत्र ने कोई उत्तर नहीं दिया। प्रतिवादी क्रमांक 1-2 ने 60,000 रुपये प्रतिफल हेतु प्रतिवादी क्रमांक 1 को संपत्ति का विक्रय कर दिया। तथापि संपत्ति का कब्जा प्रारंभ से अभी तक वादी के पास है। प्रतिवादी क्रमांक 1 वादी से कब्जा लेने को गया, तब वादी जो कि माता है को यह जानकारी प्राप्त हुई कि प्रतिवादी क्रमांक 2 जो कि उनका पुत्र है, उन्होंने उक्त संपत्ति का विक्रय प्रतिवादी क्रमांक 1 को कर दिया है। इसीलिए वादी ने घोषणा तथा विक्रय विलेख के निरस्तीकरण के लिए न्यायालय शुल्क अधिनियम की अनुसूची 2 अनुच्छेद 17 भाग 3 के प्रावधानों के अनुसार न्यायालय शुल्क अदा करते हुए वाद दाखिल किया।
माननीय, मैं कुछ साक्ष्य प्रस्तुत करना चाहती हूँ। वादी के साक्ष्य के रूप में यह प्रस्तुत किया है कि संपत्ति के विक्रय के पहले के द्वारा मुख्तारनामा समग्र रूप से निरस्त किया गया था और उस मुख्तारनामा के निरस्तीकरण के विषय में पत्रकार महत्वपूर्ण समाचार पत्रों में समग्र रूप से प्रकाशित किया गया था।
माननीय, मैं आपके सामने कुछ तर्क प्रस्तुत करना चाहती हूँ। आज्ञा है। वादी ने यह तर्क किया कि उसने विक्रय संपत्ति से कोई प्रतिफल प्राप्त नहीं किया, ना ही उसे कोई प्रतिफल दिया गया, तथा वादी को विक्रय के बारे में कोई भी सूचना प्राप्त नहीं थी। वादी द्वारा यह भी तर्क दिया गया कि क्रेता ने उससे कभी संपर्क ही नहीं किया, ना ही संपत्ति के कब्जे की प्रकृति के बारे में वादी से पूछा, ना ही यह जाना कि संपत्ति पर पुत्र का प्राधिकार है या नहीं। क्रेता सावधान हो के सिद्धांत जो कि केवियट इम्पेटर है उनका अनुपालन नहीं किया। वादी ने पुनः यह तर्क किया कि विक्रय दृश्यमान विक्रय नहीं है, ना तो उसने अपने पुत्र को अपनी इच्छा से संपत्ति दी थी, क्योंकि उसकी तथा उसके पुत्र के बीच संबंध तनावग्रस्त थे। वादी ने पुनः यह तर्क किया कि क्रेता प्रतिवादी संख्या 1 को वादी के कब्जे की मांग करने का अधिकार प्राप्त नहीं है। अतः परिणाम स्वरूप वादी ने विक्रय विलेख के निरस्तीकरण के लिए वाद को दाखिल किया है। जो कि मुख्तारनामा निरस्त होने के बाद किया गया है, अतः पुत्र को उक्त संपत्ति का विक्रय करने का अधिकार ही प्राप्त नहीं है। इसीलिए न्यायालय से प्रार्थना है कि आप विक्रय विलेख को निरस्त किया जाए।
महोदय, मैं प्रतिवादी सागर निम्नलिखित वाद पत्र पेश करती हूँ। यह कि प्रतिवादी संख्या 1 ने वाद का प्रतिवाद किया तथा अभिकथन किया कि वादी के पुत्र ने यह कहा था कि मुख्तारनामा अभी भी उसके प्रवर्तन में है और उसको उस संपत्ति को बेचने का पूर्ण अधिकार था। यह कि प्रतिवादी के अनुसार उसने वादी के पुत्र को बैंक ड्राफ्ट के द्वारा पूर्ण प्रतिफल संदत्त किया था। यह कि उसने यह भी अभिकथित किया कि पुत्र और उसकी माँ के बीच कोई दुसंधि है, परंतु इसके पश्चात भी किसी भी स्थिति में विक्रय संपत्ति अंतरण अधिनियम की धारा 41 और 43 के समस्त प्रावधानों के अनुसार वैध है। यह कि उसने कब्जा के लिए तथा अनुकल्प में प्रतिवादी संख्या 2 को संदत्त किए गए प्रतिफल की वापसी के लिए वादी और प्रतिवादी संख्या 1 के विरुद्ध प्रतिदावा भी दाखिल किया। यह कि प्रतिदावा का वादी द्वारा सम्यक रूप से विरोध किया गया तथा प्रतिवादी संख्या 2 उसका पुत्र एक पक्षीय रहा और उसने प्रतिदावी का भी विरोध नहीं किया।
महोदय के समक्ष साक्ष्य प्रतिवादी की अनुमति चाहती है। क्रेता प्रतिवादी संख्या 1 ने अपने साक्ष्य तथा तर्कों में यह कहा कि प्रतिफल के लिए सद्भावपूर्वक क्रेता है यह कि बाद गिरस्त घर को क्रय करने के लिए पहले उसने उक्त घर को क्रय करने के लिए अपनी आशा को समाचार तत्व में प्रकट किया था तथा वादी ने ऐसी लोक सूचना का कभी विरोध नहीं किया।
महोदय, यह कि पुत्र ने स्वयं को मुक्तारनामा के धारा के रूप में दर्शाया था और उसको सम्मिलित करने के पश्चात उसने उक्त घर को क्रय किया था। यह कि विक्रय विलेख में निष्पादन के समय पुत्र ने निष्पादन के दिन ही कब्जा सौंपने का वायदा किया था, परंतु उसको कब्जा नहीं सौंपा गया।
फलतः प्रतिवादी का तर्क यह है कि वादी का वाद निरस्त किया जाए तथा प्रतिवादी क्रमांक 1 को उसका प्रतिफल का संदाय वापस किया जाए और उसके जमीन के लिए उसका कब्जा दिलाया जाए। अतः श्रीमान जी से आग्रह है कि निर्णय प्रतिवादी के पक्ष में।
I want to present the case on behalf of my client. It is Mrs. M. She has presented the suit for declaration of cancellation of sale deed. In the respected Court of Civil Judge, I want to present the case on the behalf of my client, Mrs. M. She has filed the suit for declaration and cancellation of sale deed of approximate valuation of 60,000. She has presented the claim and submitted it as per the provisions of the CPC as unfolded. Firstly, that she, that is my client, had duly authorized her son, Mr. S, by a power of attorney to sell the disputed house property for a handsome price. That the son could not sell the property within 2 years, so she lost trust in her. Due to the things, she has cancelled the power of attorney that she has handed over to her son. That the cancellation was duly published in leading newspapers in the local edition on the next day of the cancellation of the power of attorney. That she also informed the son as about the cancellation through notice, but no reply is considered from the other side. That as declined to return the documents of the power of attorney by saying that its documents were lost. That her son sold the property for consideration of rupees 60,000 to Mr. P through an invalid document of power of attorney. That she is having the possession of property till date. That finally cause of action aroused when she get to know about the documents and its illegality on the date when the purchaser P came to take the possession of the property. That she never gave consent directly or indirectly to her son to sell the disputed property. That she also made Mr. S, her son, party in the suit as defendant number 2. I want to present the prayer in the court that the plaintiff, that is my client, has filed the suit for declaration and cancellation of the sale deed, paying fixed court fees as per the provisions of Schedule 2nd of Court Fees Act, Article 17, Part 3 of the Act.
So now we seek permission to present the evidence. Publication in the newspaper, notice sent to the second defendant, that is son of plaintiff, that is S, documents of the property. Here are the arguments from the plaintiff. The plaintiff argued that she has not received any consideration and she had no notice about the sale of disputed house. The power of attorney was duly cancelled and cancellation was duly published in the leading newspaper. The purchaser never contacted her nor asked her about the nature of possession and authority of her son to sell the property. The purchaser has committed the breach of doctrine, buyer be aware, that is caveat emptor. The plaintiff had further argued that the sale is not an ostensible sale, nor she gave implied consent to her son because relation between them was strained. She has further argued that the purchaser, defendant number 1, has no right to seek possession from the plaintiff. According to the case of Jaya Dayal versus B.B. Hajra, the following criteria evaluate that whether a person is ostensible owner or not. First, he needs to examine the property that he is purchasing. Both the parties should be intended to perform the contract. He should consider who has the possession of the property before buying the property. Secondly, as a valid sale deed contains consent and competency of the parties, which both are lacked in this case, the plaintiff requests the court to revoke the sale deed.
Permissions are found for defendant pleading. The defendant number 1 reconstructed the suit and alleged that the plaintiff's son told that the power of attorney is still in excess and he has authority to sell the property. According to defendant, he had full consideration by way of bank draft to son of the plaintiff. He has also alleged that there is a collision between the son and the mother. In any case, the sale is valid for the provision of section 41 and 43 of TPA. Section 41 TPA is essential in that a transfer must be ostensible owner. He must be ostensible owner, express or implied consent of real owner. Transfer must be for consideration. He also filed a counterclaim against plaintiff and defendant for the possession and alternative of refund for consideration paid on defendant number 2. The counterclaim was duly registered by the plaintiff. Defendant's son, remanded ex parte, did not the counterclaim also. Defendant evidence. The purchaser defendant in this evidence and argument is a bona fide purchaser for consideration. Purchasing dispute house for express in intention in the newspaper purchase in the said house. The plaintiff never objected to such a public notice. A notice showed him as a holder owner of the power of the attorney and said verifying the same he purchased the said house. At the time of execution of the sale deed, the son had promised to hand over possession on the same day on the execution but did not hand over the possession. In that, defendant is by the house in that say many consideration is that the say in public notice and many properties in that and the give a possession but he is not given possession. And some cases in Ram Kumar Kundra versus Mascune 1870, in this say the ostensible owner is required in that we buy that in possession of such by the properties. In that he is bona fide purchaser for consideration and written statement in that CPA order 5.
Essential of section 41 of TPA, consent, reasonable care and good faith is necessary to take the advantage of section. There is a case in which Singh versus Nikka Singh, the owner's absolute that the transferor was actually the ostensible owner of the property. In this case, after the revocation of the power of attorney, the son has no right on the property and it is the duty of defendant to first to check whether the seller is ostensible owner or not. But he completely declined here all his duties and he also not take reasonable care and good faith. In Vikas Purve versus Mosambat and others, buyer have acted in good faith and took reasonable step to verify the land owner as had been alone. And as far as the written statement, the defendant has not given any point which shows that they have taken enough steps to verify that the property belongs to the son of plaintiff or not. Another thing is that in Samsher Chand versus Bakshi Meher, it was held that if a party doesn't know about his privileges or it's quiet about them, at that point it can't be said that real owner had assented to the transfer of the property. Here also, when the revocation of the power of attorney is already published in the newspaper, it is considered that everyone should consider it and it is assumed that everyone knows that that S is no more longer the owner of the property, but still the purchaser doesn't care about anything and he purchased the land or property without considering any factor, which is very important to fulfill the demands of section 41. And about Ramkumar versus John and Maria, it is clearly stated then that if there is any as a son of M, then property in future will be transferred to him only. P or M can transfer it to anyone else they want. It's not necessary that will always provide it to the son.
41 in DBA is essential in that it must be ostensible owner, express or implied consent of the owner. In this case, the plaintiff has given a consent in that express and implied. The plaintiff's son told the power of attorney is still in extent and he had authority to sell the property. Defendant make a draft to the son plaintiff. He also filled a counterclaim and he is bona fide purchaser for making a bank draft in buying the property, and the defendant buy the property in that publish in public notice in newspaper, but he has not objected any that plaintiff. In this case, the plaintiff has no objection in this case. And the defendant is buy the property, and the son of the show the power of attorney in the defendant in this case the buy the property.
Read out that as per the sale deed, it is not registered under the Registration Act. Sale deed is not registered, and the documents that are needed for the registration